What's going on? Zach Adelstein here with Daily Edge Sports, and today I'm going to be bringing you another college football video. I'm going to be going over this Saturday morning, September 20th, Prize Pick slate. Again, going over this on Thursday night, doing this Thursday afternoon, actually. Trying to get in before this NFL game begins. But a lot of lines do still drop on Fridays. We'll be going over those in Discord, be dropping some lines with fantasy scores, which will drop later this week. A lot of receptions lines. There's not too many out right now. If you come over here, pass attempts, rush attempts, things like that. Those are going to drop over the next 24 hours or so and have a lot more slips up. Go over those every week in Discord. Put out a few more slips over there. So yeah, if you're not in Daily Edge Sports yet, you are missing out. Putting out winning slips every day. I know CashKeg is looking at putting out a few more of his lottery slips like he did last week. Hit a plus 2,500 slip over on DraftKings Sportsbook. He actually had a 2x on that one, so made it a 50x slip. Lots of winnings over there. Lots of our members hit that as well. Put out in many different pick'em sites, winning slips. And yeah, going to be putting out more PrizePick slips as well. So let's go on and get into this early slate. Some really good games on this early slate if you want to kind of look at it a little bit. Arkansas is traveling to Memphis, which is a interesting game. Really interesting game is Texas Tech traveling to Utah for a morning game. It's 10 a.m. local kickoff. It's the Fox Big Noon game of the week. Fox will be there. Really intriguing game, I think. Big game for both of these teams headed into Big 12 play. TCU is hosting SMU. Battle for the Iron Skillet up there in Dallas. Another real big game, real big rivalry game that I don't think they're going to have after this year. We also have some Clemson, Syracuse, just some really, really fun games, some bigger totals on this early slate. So yeah, let's jump on into it. One of the places I really want to start looking at, we go over to rushing yards. And over here for Arkansas, we're going to look at Taylor Green, their quarterback. Didn't need to do much week one against Alabama AMU, Alabama A&M University, not AMU. They had just 41 rushing yards there, but look at the last 2 weeks. 151 rushing yards against Arkansas State, 115 yards last week against Ole Miss, made that a really good game. He's been doing really well for himself. Just making plays happen. He's done this for a couple of years now. His arm is actually progressing as well, so they're having to respect the pass. He's averaging over 10 yards a carry this year. And then Arkansas again is on the road. They're a touchdown favorite, but they're on the road at Memphis. This game has a really big total, 61.5 point total. So there are going to be points put up, and he's going to have to use his legs. He's going to have to do what he needs to do to get going. I really like this line. I do think this is a line that you can look at some of these different goblins for to add to your line, especially down there around 30 yards. I wouldn't go too high. Maybe that 69.5 is a little intriguing, but wouldn't go too much higher than that. But for this slip, 55.5, I do think this is a really nice line for Taylor Green. Has bumped a little bit, but I would still play it up a few more yards, maybe 57.5. Staying with this game, going to go to the other quarterback and actually going to go to total yards over here. So let's just look him up. Let's look at Brendan Lewis and look at his different lines. So we come down here and we look at his total yards. It's 275.5. Now let's look at his individual lines. We have 220.5 and 37.5. You do generally get a little uptick in the total yards, but this is a pretty decent size uptick in his total yards. Looking here, we have 258, 275.5. So going up 17 yards here, 18 yards to have to go over this line and come and look at him. He has gone over these lines a couple times, but that's totally due to his rush yards. He has run a lot. Ran a lot against Chattanooga, ran a lot against Georgia State, ran a decent amount against Troy, not as much, a better team, and now he's facing an SEC defense. Let's go and look at his pass yards. Pass yards, he has under 200 in 2 games, 213 in 1 game. A little close here, but I don't think he's going to be able to throw the ball like he's, and he's going to have to try to throw the ball for sure to put up points. But I don't think he's going to have near as much success, and they're going to be able to stack the box a little bit more to keep him from running the ball for 60, 70, 80 yards here. I think they're going to hold him under there. I like taking this 275.5 going under there on Brendan Lewis. You get a little bit extra cushion against this SEC defense. But it's just this line is very high here in a game where he's not throwing the ball over 200 yards a lot. So, say he gets 200, 205, he's going to have to run for 70 yards against the SEC defense. That's just not something that he has been, He's been putting up those numbers, but I don't think he's going to put those numbers up here this week against an SEC defense. That's that game right there. I do think that's going to be a fun game to watch in the morning. Another fun game, kind of talked about a little bit, is that Utah Texas Tech game. There's been a few lines we've talked about in Discord a little bit. Put out some lines for that. But gonna go one of those places I really like. If we go down here, is Utah's tight end. So historically, Utah has tight ends that do a lot. We go back to Brent Queethy last year. You can look at Dalton Kincaid a few years ago. This is just a tight end offense. It uses this tight end a lot. Bentley second on the team with 14 targets. He has 11 receptions for 112 yards. He has at least 31 yards in every game. This has bumps a little bit from 29 to 32 and a half. I think that's fine here. And again, a game against Texas Tech where there's going to be points scored. Utah is a home favorite here by 4.5 points with a 56.5 point total. But I think they're going to have to target their playmakers. Devin Dampier, their quarterback, is very good, very, very good, but they don't have great running backs. And I think they're going to have to air it out to keep up with Texas Tech here. Again, very important game for both of these teams. Last week against Oregon State, I know they were playing base defense because they were blowing them out, but Texas Tech did give up 43 yards to their tight ends. So again, I think this is a really good over here for Dallin Bentley, over 32.5 receiving yards. Wouldn't go too high over that. If you wanted to keep an eye, some of his goblins I think are very good values. Maybe that 39.5. I am going to keep an eye out for when they drop receptions for him, see if he gets a reception line and a fantasy line. That's something I really want to look for. But for this slip, we're going to go with 32.5 yards. Last place I want to go is that Battle of the Iron Skillet. Going over to TCU. TCU's been interesting this year. Jordan Dwyer's been the big guy. If you look at his line, he's been doing very well. Eric McAllister was thought to be the big receiver coming in. I still think he'll step it up, but he hasn't done a ton. But one place I want to look over here is Joseph Manjack. Manjack came over from U of H. Didn't have a big first week. Didn't need to. The outside receivers were just going all over North Carolina. But last week had a big game against Abilene Christian. He's their primary slot receiver, getting a lot of that inside work. But he's getting deep down the field. He has an ADOT over 14 yards. That's 10 yards after the catch right now, averaging on his catches. I think he's going to get some decent usage here. Going back here, looking at it, a big game last week, and I think 33.5 yards. He needs two, maybe three catches to go over this. I think they're going to pepper him. This is another game that has a high total, 62.5 point total. TCU is favored by a touchdown by 6.5 points, and this is another game I think definitely could shoot out. So yeah, Joseph Manjack here, 33.5. So again, going over this slip, looking at it, a nice 10x slip. We have Taylon Green over rushing yards, over 55.5 rushing yards. We have Brendan Lewis under 275.5 pass and rush yards, so total yards. Dallin Bentley over 32.5 receiving yards, and Joseph Manjack over 33.5 yards. We'll be back with a few more videos this week. Going to do a later video for Prizepicks, do a few more videos as well. Always keep an eye out for CashKeg's videos. Has them for everything right now for NFL, doing some WNBA stuff as well. But yeah, we hope to see you guys soon, and we'll catch you on the flip side. Peace.